Aaron here. So let's go through the audit. So I'm just going to give you a full rundown of your entire Google Ads campaign. I took a brief look at it before I filmed this. And I do have some ideas on how we can improve the campaign performance, whether you or the agency that you hired, what they can do. Um, so I'm going to refer to like the changes they can make. I'm just going to refer to the agency. I'm going to assume that the agency did the whole entire thing, and just assume the changes that they should make. But I'll also try to explain it to you in a way that you understand it, and also just to show that I do, very well. I do know what I'm talking about. I've generated in the past couple years, um, over 1,200 calls for home care agencies across the U.S. Exclusively using Google Ads for the most part. So I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to what keywords, what works, what doesn't work, and I've tested a whole lot of things of with different ideas that I had, and I saw what worked well and what did not work well. So the very first thing I like to look at is, are there any obvious ways that you're wasting money with Google Ads before I get into, your clicks, conversion rate data, costs, and all that stuff? Are you not wasting money? So the the way I check this is by going onto your campaign settings, look on Google search, and I see that you're not running on search partners and display network. That's good. These are bad. This is bad quality traffic. So we don't want to be running on these right now for the most part. So let's go through the audit. So conversion tracking. So it does seem that you are tracking conversions, and that's very important. That's very good. However, it seems like you're not tracking phone calls overall. I mean, you have a set up an appointment, so I mean, it seems like you've gotten 5 people to set up an appointment with you. I'm assuming that you added this was added correctly. You added the tag to the proper places on your site, meaning just the thank you page overall, so that way only people who give you the information can see it overall. So hopefully that um, this is set up correctly. But one thing that I can see that you're not really tracking well is phone calls from your website. So I can tell you this right now. You need to be tracking phone calls for the website. So the tool that I use, which is here, is CallRail. I'll send you a link to it. And what you want to do is create a website pool. And I have actually a video on my channel on how to set up conversion tracking for the most part. However, that's very important because I would say only 20% of people are going to fill out a form. 80% of people are gonna call you. So you want to make sure, like I see you have the phone number on the landing page. It's not click to call, which is not a good sign. You need to make this click to call, and hopefully your page is also mobile optimized as well. And also the fact that you need to get rid of landing page here, and the fact that the first thing that people see is landing page is definitely turning people off. So be sure to tell the people who made your site to take out the word landing page here. Just have home care in Rose City, Texas. Something like that's fine. Or just the name of your business up here and then the URL extension to get rid of landing page, because that's gonna people don't come to see a landing page, they come to see home care services and all that stuff. And we'll get to some changes I would recommend that you make to your landing page, because there's a couple changes I want to suggest here as well. But one step at a time. So you definitely need to be tracking phone calls overall and use CallRail to do it. Set up a website pool. The agency should know how to do it. If you need my personal recommendation on or personal help on doing it, I can definitely set that up for you. So let's see. So we did the conversion tracking. So you're somewhat doing it. Your landing page. We're gonna get to that. And ad extensions. Let's see. Let's look at your ad extensions overall. See if you guys have them. So you have structured, you have the call, but you don't have site links. Okay. So the structured's fine. The call out is fine. So no. Okay. Companionship sitter, homemaker, personal care, respite care. I like to be more specific with my structured snippet. I don't know why they paused it. I don't think it needs to be paused. Um, and you can be adding a lot more. Like you can add value. You can add a lot more stuff. So I would say keep this, but I would also add, dementia care, bathing, grooming, transportation, specific things that people need, because people, yes, they need personal care services, but what else is there? The personal care services include bathing, grooming, dressing, and all that stuff. Include that stuff here, so that way people know that's exactly what you add. That's exactly what you have. Your call outs. Are you? I remember. So, I remember on our brief call on the phone, you said that you're non-medical. So I don't know why they're saying that you're covered by Medicare. I guess that the people that you're working with don't really know the difference. Which I mean, it's you wouldn't know the difference unless you're in the industry. So I would get rid of this because if you're not Medicare covered, specialized dementia care, I would say call out like things that people would want. So instead of saying, because these are more just services, except for medical care, I would say keep 24/7 support. That's fine, or 24/7 care. I would have something like usually I have things like call for free care plans, affordable pricing, plans that fit your budgets. Professional caregivers and care plans is good, something like that. And something with calls, I don't let's see if we can, oh, not network, sorry. Oh, they did have search partners. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I just clicked on segments and then network so I can see which if it's on the Google network or search partners. However, so I can tell that they did have search partners on and they must have turned it off because you must have been getting bad quality clicks with which can explain a lot of clicks that you have. Um so let's do extensions. So the call extension, hasn't got any clicks yet, but that's fine. I would I don't usually have call extensions, and here's why. So sometimes, let's say someone's searching for Bayada home care, right? If you have home care as a phrase match, Bayada home care, if you don't have that as your negative keyword, which we're gonna get into, you're gonna show for Bayada home care, and then it's gonna show your number. People don't really read, so they'll just click on the number. They'll call you, thinking that you're Bayada home care when you're not Bayada home care, and then that's a waste of a click because you still had to pay money for that click overall. So I usually don't have the call extension at all, just in case I'd show up for something that I don't intend on showing up for, and we don't get the click to call. And besides, with home care, people like to know the company that they're calling before they call. So I mean, I've only seen improvement in performance um, when I got rid of the call asset. And it's common knowledge and it's like a common practice to put it there, but from my experience, I haven't seen it work. You need to add site link extensions as well, just to give your ad more prominence overall. And there's ways to do that without having to use four different parts of the web page overall. I'm sure your agency knows about it. If not, and you want help developing that, I can help you as well. And you can also add a promotion one. You can just say 100% off an assessment. So that's the same thing as for your assessment overall. So yeah, that's with your assets. So what else can we go through? Okay, let's go through the keywords. Okay, so before I get into your keywords, I'm just gonna get into your stats um of your campaign, and that's gonna lead me to the keywords. So you got 155 clicks, 3.23 conversion rate. You've only spent $178, which is not a lot so far, but your cost per click is $1.15. Your what was it? There's something else that I wanted to see here. I can't remember. So it'll come back to me. So this tells me though that you're getting your amount of conversions. That's what I want to see. Your conversions. So you've gotten 5 conversions so far. But I mean, from the call, it didn't seem that these were good conversions or conversions that you're happy with, or you might not even know that you got these conversions if your tracking is not set up correctly. So, this is a really low cost per click, and this tells me that not only did you have low quality keyword selection, and you're showing up for a lot of bad searches, but you also probably have a bidding strategy that is also not good quality overall. So, for example, I can see here already, does Medicare cover home health care? That's a question. It's less likely that people will see that and then click on your ad. And especially if your ad leads to here, this doesn't answer anything about Medicare, Medicaid, or anything like that. They're going to click off immediately, and you just wasted money on that click. And also, it seems you said that you don't cover Medicare, or you're private pay. So the fact that you're appearing for a lot of Medicare stuff is not good. So that tells me that the agency did not put in Medicare as a negative keyword. Even so, they're not adding these words into negative keywords overall. So that is a big issue. And it seems like a lot of your traffic was coming from search partners overall and very few from Google. So search partners is very low quality. Um, in terms of amount of clicks. I think I tried running search partners for 2 plus years, my first 2 years. And through tracking, I can tell you I only got two decent conversions from it. And overall, so it's not really worth it. So a big thing that I can tell you don't have is negative keywords. So I can see here you have only 60 negative keywords. So this is one of my more seasoned accounts overall. You can see my cost per click is a lot higher. It's $11, but that's because the clicks that I get are a little more valuable overall, and they're more targeted to people who are looking to buy the services. So, for example, home care provider of Texas, San Antonio, senior care, San Antonio, caregivers in San Antonio. Those are good keywords overall. Home care providers near me. So these are searches of people who you can tell are looking for care for the most part. And then you can see here, you can see that I have nothing set for like Medicare, Medicaid, or anything like that, right? You can see with my negative keyword list, I have over 14,000. This is kind of overkill for the most part, but a big reason is because a lot of searches on Google I just don't want to be showing up for. And you don't need 14K, negative keywords overall. I think that is very much so overkill. But one thing you do want to have is in your negative keyword lists overall is, of course, home health. So if you have health agency, so having like home health agency, things like that. So you don't show for home health agencies because home health is, medical services. Make sure you have that on your list. And I also have, very importantly, competitor names overall. So a lot of times, you're gonna show up if you have phrase match keywords. You're gonna show up for a competitor name. So Angel Life, PVT Ltd. So Angels Care, that's a competitor. Um, let's see. A&K Home Care, Ace Home Care, Acapella Home Care. These are all competitors. You don't want to be showing up for competitors, right? Because most of the, like, for example, if I have a doctor's office that I normally go to, and I search up Charles Doctor's office, and I see an ad for Mike, and I click on Mike. Wait, no, I wanted Charles Doctor's office. I'm going to immediately leave and then try to find Charles. So, but because I clicked, you spent money on a search that was never going to convert for you anyway. So there needs to be negative keywords added. So in this case, I would add this phrase as a negative keyword, and then I would also add A and K as a negative keyword. Definitely add Medicare as a negative keyword. And I like add these specific searches as negative keywords as well. You can see just simply just click add negative keyword and make sure you add it to the campaign. You can add it as phrase, broad, or exact. I would add it in as phrase. Um, And you can see like more of them in if you look at your search terms, which is under insights and reports, search terms. We want to X this out, and then we can see here there's a lot of keywords. Senior care services. So this isn't specifically home care, so I don't know if they're looking for home care. They could be, but I don't want to waste money on a click to find out. So this you should add this as an exact match negative keyword. Home caregivers is a fine one. Private home care for seniors in my area, that's an okay one. That's a good one. Um, Overall, but you can see they barely added anything for negative keywords. Unfortunately, caregiver needed immediately. That's a keyword you should add because that shows that they need a rush on caregivers overall. House cleaning for seniors in my area, that's an okay one. But we're gonna get to why, even though it's an okay keyword, it might not be okay for your specific purpose. Dallas home caregivers, this is a good one, so you should add that. But it seems like they're adding some elderly, some negative keywords as well. Low cost house cleaning for seniors near me. That's a negative keyword I would definitely add. So be sure that the agency goes through and adds things um, adds things that just don't make sense for your business overall. Housekeeping for seniors, see prices. I mean, you're a home care agency. You do housekeeping, but that's not your main thing. Your main thing is to take care of elderly people in their homes. So I wouldn't really want to be showing up for housekeeping because I'm not a housekeeper. I'm not a cleaner. You're a caregiver for the most part. You can do housekeeping, but overall you're a caregiver. So keep that in mind as well. So let's go more in detail with your keywords. So we can see here okay, so this is one thing that I kind of troubling. They remove a lot of the keywords, and I understand you don't want to show any more for that keyword, especially because they're broad match. And with broad match, you don't know what you're gonna get. I'll show you an example. So we're gonna see the search terms for these specific broad match keywords. Um, Overall, I mean, some of these search terms they're not that bad. I mean, home help for the elder seniors, home caregivers for the elderly. These aren't terrible. I mean, but you do get some of like low cost house cleaning, top 10 nursing homes near me. You can see that you're getting a lot of different searches and things like that, right? Senior care Minnesota. Um, yeah, you're getting a lot of like you got a lot of like different ones and things like that with the broad match variant of it. Caregiving for the elderly is like the only good one. You can see here they excluded a lot more than they added when it's broad match. You can see the match type here that they use. When it's phrase, it's not that bad. When it's exact, it's really good. So keep that in mind. So that I can see why they removed it. So that was a good call on them. But you don't need to remove the keyword. You can just pause it. Like it seems like it seems like it's either remove or you keep it. You should not remove any keywords that you have because of that we're missing data because you can see here the total for the campaign, there's 5 conversions overall, but we don't know which keywords got us the conversions because they removed the keywords. So next time I would tell your agency just to pause them. You don't need to remove it, just pause the keywords. That way we still have that data. But anyway, we work with what we got. So with clicks, I can see here that since most of it was broad match and search partners, they're not going to be good quality clicks as you can probably see. When you use phrase match, you can see here it was 5. You got 5 clicks overall, so not enough data. But the average cost per click was 93 cents, probably from search partners. So there's probably not much good data that we can get from these keywords. So the type of keywords that I use for my campaign is let me show you the keywords that did very well. So using the words like home care service, the location you're in, so like home care Dallas, in-home care near me, home care services. If you want to use the word caregiver, you can use like caregiver in home, caregiver Dallas, elderly caregiver, find a caregiver, and all that kind of stuff. Um, there's many different. This is just a small example of some keywords that you can do and some keywords I would implement for you as well. Also, the word caregiver services is good. Home care service in the location or the state you're in. Agency home care near me. Home care assistance near me. Things like that. So these are good keywords that you can go ahead and target for the most part. And there's a lot more different keywords overall that if you did work together, of course, I would implement for you. But those like caregivers and those home care that should get you started and should get you some calls for the most part. So let's go into the ad group level just to see ad group wise. Let's see. Companionship, in-home care, dementia care, homemakers. Uh, let's go to companionship. See what that's got the most amount of clicks. Also, we'll get to it. Sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place. In-home care. Yeah, it seems, you removed a lot of the data, so and yeah, elderly home care. So there's honestly because there's not much conversion data, and you guys deleted the conversion data that was responding to it. There's not much I can really help like do to analyze here. It's just that the keywords that you have are okay. Like these are fine keywords. They just need to be the right match type and not broad match. So keeping it with phrase match, which is this here, phrase and exact is something that you would definitely want to have for the most part. It's just the fact that you remove the keywords. It's not something that people do. You just want to pause it here, and you even remove some exact match. I have no idea why because they've only spent like $3. In home care you still have, but there's no data for it. Dementia care, Alzheimer's in home care, dementia care, and you could be adding a lot more keywords. So one thing you can do, or the agency do, could get to get more ideas, is to use the keyword planner, and I'll get to that. Overall, a lot of things I'll get into, but honestly, I wouldn't have stuff like light housekeeping for seniors because it's not specifically what you're offering, like home care for the most part. So yeah, I just wish I could see the keywords that got you the conversions. See if I can find it. No. Okay, it's okay. It wouldn't really help us anyway. So yeah, just with the keywords, it's just I think the words that you're selecting are fine. It's just the match type is what's causing you to get this bad quality traffic, and the fact that you don't have negative keywords. So if you don't have negative keywords and you're using broad match, you're going to be in a world of pain because you're going to be showing for a lot of searches that really just don't make sense for the most part. So let's make sure I covered everything. Uh, okay, yeah, let's go into the keyword planner then. So I'm gonna show you how I set up my keywords and things like that, and how I do things. So, for example, for like one of my more seasoned campaigns, you can see here I have in-home caregivers, personal care, homemaker, home care, geo-target caregiver, geo-target home care, Alzheimer care, 24/7 care, right? So how I think of creating the ad groups and everything like that, right? And creating the keyword is I want everything to be as tightly knit theme as possible. So I'm going to go here on Keyword Planner. And let's say how I think of it is every time I think of a different idea, that should be its own separate ad group with its own separate ads. So, for example, if I think of home care service, that should be just one ad group. Overall, if I think of caregivers or caregiver service, that should be its own ad group as well. So also, let me not do the. I don't know why it's set at the Philippines. Um, let's set it to where you are, Dallas. Dallas, Texas. So you can get good search data. So we can see here I would add home care service, and what I like to do is just add a filter and make sure that the keyword also contains home care service. That way I can make ads that have the words home care service in it. And you're not going to get a lot of keywords. That's fine. That's actually good because the more you don't need a whole ton of keywords, the more tightly knit theme, the better. So let's just make the word home care one of them. So home care service, home care assistance, but and you can also see here as well you can see a lot of competitors: heart to heart home care, Medicare home care. So this is why it's important to add negative keywords, because if you're targeting home care service as a broad match, Google thinks that all these words are related to home care service. So you're going to show up when people search all these words. So if you don't have the word Medicare or Medicare home health or heart to heart home care as a negative keyword list, you're going to show up for it. If people click on it, then you're going to pay for that click. And even if people don't click on it, that's an impression that you might get. And because of that, your click through rate's going to go down. If your click through rate goes down, it's going to cost more per click when you do want to get the click that you want. So go through these lists as well, and you can see here always carrying home care. There's a lot of like negative. This is what I did to make my negative keyword list. Always carrying home care, woodland home care. I would take these words and then just add it to my negative keyword list. American home care, home helpers home care, all that kind of stuff, right? And then in terms of adding a word, you want to just see home care providers near me. I would even make a home care agency ad group overall. Mayflower care homes, negative keyword, like all these negative keywords that you should be adding. Um, Home care assistance near me, and then having the words home care near me and stuff like that. And then that's how you create the ad groups overall. And let's say you're offering companionship care, so you can say I always have something home companionship care, and we have to make sure that we take out the filter, and then we can see here private companion for the elderly, um, senior companionship near me. There's nothing that says home care, but it's still companionship care. So you can just definitely go through these and add these keywords. So take a list of the different services that you offer. So you offer, personal care. So personal care near me. So you can think an easier way to think of it is each different service should get its own ad group. I would like to say personal home care. A lot of searches. So yep, add that. Be sure to add the word care homes as a negative keyword because we don't want to send people to a facility. Um, Personal care near me, that could be an okay one. Personal care services near me, personal care agencies. These are keywords that you guys can add. So go through your services, to figure out some more keywords that you could definitely add. And remember, you want it to be as tightly knit themed as possible. So pretty much kind of like this. So all the keywords here should have to do with companionship, which this isn't to do with companionship. Like in-home sitters, that should be its own ad group. Companionship care, that's fine. Assistance for seniors living at home, that should be in the in-home care ad group. Dementia care, this is something like this is fine for dementia care. Homemakers, I would have specifically the word homemaker care service, something like that, kind of like this overall. In home care, everything should contain the word home care. So respite care should be its own ad group overall, and then you should have all the different terms that you can find that relate to respite care. I hope all that makes sense. Um, we covered the search terms and we did negative keywords. I talked about the intent of keywords. So pretty much what the intent of keyword is pretty much if it's what the person typing, like, does that mean that they're actually looking and researching to get care for themselves or a loved one. So a big way to do this is just if someone types in home care service Dallas, good keyword, because they're looking for home care. They specifically said service, so they do want a service. and then they're saying Dallas, their location. So if they say location near me, that means that they want service. If they're saying something specific like dementia home care, that's very specific. So saying dementia home care near me, something like that, that shows that they are looking for some sort of dementia care. They're not just looking to research on, what is dementia care, like what should I do when treating a dementia patient. They're looking for, home care for seniors with dementia, so something like that. So that's the intent with keywords for the most part. um let's go on to, I don't know why I don't have ads here. Let's go on to your ads, because the ads are um the ads are not the greatest. So you can see, Porter Home Health Services, helping hand when you need it the most. And I can see there's a lot of automatically created ones. You don't want to use this. Look at this. Automatically created landing page home care. Like, no, like this is not a good ad. So that's why we don't want to have automatically created assets, which I'll get to, and how to turn that off. Um, we can see here top in home care services, compassionate senior care, Medicare covered home care. I don't know why they have Medicare covered home care if if they don't cover Medicare for the most part. So if you don't cover Medicare for the most part, so that needs to be getting rid of. Set an appointment. So the thing with these ads is they're keyword rich overall, right? So senior home care, senior care, top in home care, but they don't give a person a reason to click on the ad for the most part. Other than maybe caregivers all on call, it's just reliable care. It's kind of too selfish. Learn more. That's a very lazy one. Um, Obviously, if they're gonna click on it, they're gonna want to learn more. Contact us today. That's okay, but what's the benefit? So a benefit I like to use is care can start within 24 hours. Another benefit is get a free care plan, get a free assessment. That one is not like the best, but you can still use it. It's better than what you guys have here. Um, Care can start at 24 hours. Free home care assessments. Call for support. Instantly speak to a caregiver. We can answer your questions and things like that. Affordable home care services. So those are just a couple examples. Um, I can show you a little bit of the ads that I use for the most part. That's generated a good cost per conversion, and then the combinations that shows expert caregivers on standby. Keep loved ones safe and happy. Care can start in 24 hours. And also, none of these have the words Dallas Home Care Service or the city you're at, Rose City Home Care Service. So I would go in there and, change up the ads to like something like the location home care service overall. And a little hack you can do is you can do the squiggly bar icon here and then put location. Um, and then that way it just auto populates the city, and you can put something like Texas in it or something like that. So that's something you can do to add the location for the most part. Let me just leave, and then we'll go back to it. And we can see here your ad strength. I mean, just because it's set, you don't the ad strength doesn't really mean anything. As long as it's not at poor, your ads will do fine. Top in home care services. So I would say top Dallas in home care services. Get rid of Medicare covered home care. Personalized senior care. I'll say call for a personalized care plan. There's no benefit for me to click on your ad. Book an appointment today. Compassionate senior care. You know, it's like it's very generic for the most part. Medicare covered home care. Um, I mean, they're not. It's not the worst. It's definitely not the worst. And these are like personalized senior home care. That's good. Porter Home Health Services. That's fine. Even though we kind of don't want home health, but learn more. Say call. You can at least say call to learn more, or learn how we can help your family. That's a benefit that if I'm searching for home care for my family, I would want to see. You do have home care in Rose City. Yeah, so you do have one, but you don't need the whole thing. You can just have Texas overall. And also, I sometimes I do like to pin them so they make sense. So you can test with pinning them. So I usually like to pin like the word with the keyword in headline one, and then the benefit to the searcher in headline two, and then whatever you want, whether it be social proof saying that you've helped hundreds of families, or we're 4.8 star rated, something in headline three overall. Your description, uh, this is so generic. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But like it's just we're a company that we provide home care in Rose City, Texas. Duh. What can you do for me? So you don't need to say the name of your business overall, especially if it's one of the headlines. People don't care the name of your business. Like, how can you help me get home care? So you can say something like, let's something that I use. A list of services. So a good thing that you can use is a list of services that you offer. So just saying the words housekeeping, companionship, meal preparation, medical reminders. That seems to be the description that Google likes to show the most. And let's go. Let's go to my assets. A description you can use is, never worry about your health, safety. I want to say maybe not never worry, but like never worry about your health, safety, or home. Get a free home care consultation. Get the best home care San Antonio offers. Free consultations. Learn more. So, we offering the best care in the city overall. You don't have to say, get the best care. Just say, you can say, get thoughtful, get personalized, get tailored care that your city offers. Free, no obligation consultations. Learn more. Thrive in the next chapter of your life with vetted and respectful home health aides in San Antonio. So you can see how that's more exciting and more like not relatable, but you can see more of a benefit from that than just saying we're a home care agency in Texas. In-home caregivers for the elderly, ensuring your comfort and safety. I would say something like certified, background checked, experienced home caregivers. Set an appointment with our trusted home care services. You can say set an appointment. I would say set an appointment, and what's the dream outcome? Set an appointment and get peace of mind today for your home care. Overnight caregiving services, rest easy with our support. I don't know why you have overnight caregiving services. That's very random. But in the description, you can say 24/7 caregiving services, rest easy with our support. That's fine. That's actually fine. But I would say 24/7 services, and you're not even filling up. Like you should be you have 90 characters to say as much as you can to convince someone to call you. I would use them as much as you can. So a layout you can use is you can list out the list of services that you offer in one of the descriptions. Say like the main benefit of why people should work with you, and then another headline with the dream outcome. That's what I would do. And don't worry about that excellent ad strength. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. So the next thing that's very important is your bidding strategies. And I can tell that you guys are on maximize clicks because you're getting a lot of low value clicks overall, right? And you turned off search partners, which is good. But you might not be getting clicks now because when you're doing maximize clicks, you've only set it at a dollar limit. As you can see, the cost per click, I mean, it varies overall, but the cost per click can, it's between like, $8 and like $12 for some industries overall. So, it's like $11 cost per click from my clients, and from other clients I've seen like anywhere between the $7 and $11 range should be the cost per click. So you want to change the bid strategy. You want to change it to manual, and then you want to set the bids manually. You can start out with setting a manual bid of like $7.50 per click, and then seeing the type of results you get there, and then you want to either increase or decrease the bids from there. Every time I've used maximize clicks, every time I've tried, I never get calls, I never get conversions. But when I switch it to manual CPC, I start getting calls and conversions. So that's just my personal experience from it. I know other people use it, and that's the common standard to start out with maximize clicks. But again, if you never really worked on home care agency campaigns, you're not going to really know this. And also, be sure to turn continue. Be sure to turn this off. Only use assets that I provide directly, or else you're gonna get this stuff where it's gonna be where you get landing page home care voice Texas. That was automatically created, so that's why we want to turn this off. A helping hand when you need it most is actually not that bad. But this one we want to turn it off. I mean, it hasn't shown, thankfully, but you want to turn it off. And looking at your other ad, it seems like, of course, everything that I'm saying translates to all the other ads. But instead of saying, Porter Home Health Services, say Porter Homemaker Services, so it matches the theme of the ad group overall. So you can say Porter Dementia Care Services. So these keywords should have the word dementia care in it. So it should be personalized dementia home care, compassionate dementia care. In this one, it should be Porter Companionship Home Care Service, personalized companionship. You want the keywords you're bidding for to be as tightly knit themed to the ad you're showing. Because if I search companionship and I see compassionate senior care, I might not click on that because that doesn't say companionship. But if I type in the word companionship home care and I see compassionate companion and I see, companionship home care services, senior care services, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm more likely to click on it. So that's very important as well. And there was one more thing that I wanted to say. Of course, make those changes to the headlines and things like that. And let's see what else is there. Devices. So you just want to make sure that the devices let's look. Where is it? Oh, let me go on overview. Oh, it's probably in here. And then, not insights, sorry. Yeah. It's funny how they always change it up. Oh. So we just want to go to our device section. Let me find. Okay, yeah, it's in where and when your ad showed. Um, you can see here devices. We can see that you're getting a lot of clicks on mobile, and then nothing on computers for the most part. So I mean, I wouldn't really change anything with the devices because the keyword data is not that great for the most part, especially since almost all your clicks have come from search partners, which is not that great for the most part. Because people go on Google to find these things. They don't go on the search partner stuff that they do. So that's another thing. So keeping an eye on that. The ad copy, we discussed that. Location, reason to click. Location optimization. Go on locations. Go on to Dallas. You can see the cities, and you can see Fort Worth, Arlington. You can see how the different cities break down. So Dallas got the most bang for the buck for the most part, assuming that your conversion tracking is correct. Um, so you can see here Fort Worth, for example, if that cost is very high, you can always just take it. These ones you have to remove, or you can set a bid adjustment to decrease it by like 90% or something like that. Um, Overall, ad schedule. You don't need to run your ads all day. I can tell you this right now, because you're going to be wasting money on times that you're not going to be able to answer the phone or anything like that. So pretty much you want to run it anytime you can answer the phone. If you do have a 24/7 answering service, just run ads from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because most people, like, if they search for a home care agency at midnight, they click they click your ads, like, okay, but they're probably closed right now, so I don't want to call them. Or like even if it's like 3 a.m., even if you do say that we offer 24/7 support, people might not call, and then they might wait till like normal business hours, and then life hits them, and then they just forget. So keep that in mind. So you might just want it from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the most part. And impression share. We don't need to worry about impression share for right now. The bid strategy we talked about. The demographic data. Um, so from what I've noticed with the demographic data, let's see, it should be under audience. I've gotten my best results when I've restricted my ads from to only show to people who are 35 and up. Because I mean, people who are 18 to 34, they're not really looking for home care services, or they're not really concerned to look for home care services for a loved one. The clicks and the calls that I got from this age group are people who are looking for jobs. So if you don't really want to do that, then you want to just exclude them for the most part. But it doesn't really matter. It seems like a lot of them is just unknown for the most part. It seems like all of them is unknown, which is that's because you have search terms on for the most part. So yeah. So I would just go ahead and you would have to exclude them from the ad group for the most part. The data will still be there, but you still just want to exclude them. Anyone from 18 to 34, because usually I get the best results from people who are 35 to 65 plus. I may even test just doing 45 up for the most part. But the biggest things for your campaign is you need to turn off automatic content creation. This should be off. Maximize clicks. You need to change it to manual cost per click. If you're gonna keep it at maximize clicks, you need to make this at least like the maximum bid limit at like $19 or something like that. Because you're not gonna get any good traction with under a dollar keywords. Since you turn on search partners, it'll probably be very slow. Let me see the last 7 days. Well, you probably turned off search. Let me look at the change history. Um, Oh, so you removed the keywords most. Oh no, porterhome@gmail.com. I'm not sure if this is you because this isn't the email that we used to add it. So you just want to pause them. Um, let's see how you change the bidding. Oh, you were at maximize conversions before. Yeah, you didn't have conversion. You didn't have enough conversion data to do that. So, you're not going to get many conversions overall. You need conversion data first before you can do maximize conversions for the most part. And then the fact that you changed it to maximize clicks, did it yesterday. You're not gonna. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be good. And yeah, so okay, I can see you guys made a good amount of changes to the bidding strategy. Okay, so yeah, and then yeah, I can see why that happened. And you also having broad match is not good. So you need phrase and exact. And there are a lot more keywords that you can be targeting as well that can be high converting. If you want to work together, I can of course I would implement those keywords for you. And the very last thing I want to talk about is your landing page. I'll be very quick and very honest. This landing page does not give me enough information to trust you to call you to be to call you for the most part. I don't know how many calls this page has generated, but when I click this, I can't call. Nothing happens. Um, I'm not sure if this is different on mobile. I really hope it is because you might be losing out on people. A helping hand when you need it most. Discover why a client chooses us for their home care needs. That's okay, but then why? And then you have something here. It's just a blurb. Uh, Look no further. Our highly skilled, experienced team is passionate about providing personal care that meets unique needs of each individual. This is I've seen this on like 80 other home care pages, right? Be more specific. So how would you provide so yes, you can have this sentence, but then back up your claim saying like whether you need 4 hours of, someone to help you move around the home, if you need, to help with transportation to the doctor's office, be more specific with what you offer. And then book an appointment with us today. Why should I book an appointment with you? Um, do you offer free assessment? So I would say book a free assessment today, book a free consultation today, get a free care plan. And also, you just need the name. You don't need the person's address. Like, I have no idea who you are. I'm not going to give you my address just yet. Um, just the name, phone, email, and a message. So that way you can reach out, call them, or they'll call you, hopefully, and then you'll get the address from there once they talk to a person. This is nice. I like the map here. The list of services. I do like how your site looks, but I feel that there's just not enough information for me to, go ahead with you guys. Like how your caregivers trained, are you licensed, bonded, insured, things like that for the most part. I mean, you've gotten 5 conversions so far with this. I'm not sure if they're good conversions, but you have gotten 5 conversions. But I would maybe expand on this page a little bit. Like, it looks nice. It's a very nice looking page, but it's not giving me enough information for me to call. There's no real benefit for me to working with you for the most part. If I do land on this page, so that's just my quick suggestions. I could give you a lot more, but that's the audit of the Google Ads campaign, and really hope this helps you.